Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Cowboys urged to avoid All-American with salty disposition. Here in the days leading up to the NFL draft, it's not that difficult to find a slew of opinions on what the Dallas Cowboys ought to do. A bit less common, though, is finding input on what the Cowboys ought to not do. For the folks at Bleacher Report, one popular name frequently linked with the Cowboys at number 24 in the first round should be a no-go. That is Oregon center Jackson Powers Johnson, the star center who seems to have established himself as a first-round pick. Powers Johnson is 6'3" and 320 pounds, a winner of the Remington Award for the nation's best center in 2023, the first player in Pac-12 history to win the award. He was a unanimous All-American and a semi-finalist for the Outland Trophy, given to the best offensive lineman in the country. So what gives? Powers Johnson sounds perfect for a team trying to replace Tyler Biadasz, who left for the Commanders in free agency. According to B/R's Alex Ballantyne, in a post titled, "One Prospect Each Team Must Avoid in 2024 NFL Draft," the Cowboys are in desperate straits in a few spots, and it's a matter of prioritizing those spots. And center is not as important as the rest of the line. It goes back to the question of value and triaging needs, he wrote. The need at center is real for the Cowboys, but the need to replace Tyron Smith, the stalwart left tackle who also left, for the Jets, in free agency is greater. Tyler Smith might replace Tyron Smith at tackle, or could stick around at left guard. That would leave TJ Bass, Powers Johnson's old teammate at Oregon, to man either left guard or left tackle. Bass was an undrafted rookie last year who played all 17 games, including 2 starts. Whether the Cowboys draft an offensive lineman with their first pick depends on how strongly they feel about Bass's potential to be an every-week starter. The Cowboys also have a need at either guard or tackle. Tyler Smith has shown the ability to play both, so they can slot him in at either position, but losing Tyron Smith means they need 2 starters on the offensive line, Ballantyne wrote. Other options who could start at center will be available later in the draft. In our scouting department's latest mock draft, the Cowboys took Amarius Mims in the first round and were able to land Zach Frazier in the second round. While the contracts for the team's big-name star players get most of the attention, the bigger issue as the Cowboys' 2024 offseason slogs onward probably is the lack of certainty on the offensive line. We know that Zach Martin will be the right guard, but we know very little about any other spot on a unit that is the backbone of the team's success in recent years. Right tackle Terrence Steele struggled last season coming back from ACL surgery and allowed 14 quarterback hits, most of any tackle in the NFL. He allowed 8 sacks, which was tied for 8th most. Tyler Smith was very good at left guard, but the plan always has been to move him to tackle. But the Cowboys might not want to risk losing a good guard and gaining an uncertain tackle. Backup Brock Hoffman could take over the center spot. Bass could be the left tackle. Neither was all that impressive in the snaps they got last year. The Cowboys need to rebuild their line. Powers Johnson makes some sense. But in support of the B.R. warning, NFL.com's Powers Johnson scouting report warns that he won't be ready to play quickly. Powers Johnson is a fierce competitor with a salty disposition but needs to improve his first phase technique to create more consistent block sustains, the site wrote. His rookie season could be bumpy if he has to play early, but he should come out on the other side as a long-time starter. Cowboys get trade happy in my final mock draft. We are less than a week away from NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell announcing the number 1 overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft to the Chicago Bears. After several mock drafts leading up to the big day, today is the day I release my final Cowboys mock draft before the main event starts this Thursday. As always, I utilized the Pro Football Focus mock draft simulator with all the settings on median level to complete this mock. The first round couldn't have gone any better for me as the imaginary Dallas Cowboys GM. By trading back 4 spots with the Buffalo Bills, I acquired an extra pick in the top 60, making it 3 picks for me in the first 2 rounds. There were only 6 offensive linemen taken before the clock started for the Cowboys, giving me the confidence to trade back 4 spots and still acquire a starting offensive lineman. My confidence was rewarded when the Bills selected Zach Frazier at 24. The Packers chose T.J.C. Latham, followed by 2 wide receiver selections from Arizona and Tampa Bay. The versatile Graham Barton is my selection at 28, and I couldn't be happier. His position flex means he can be considered a tackle or a center selection in round 1, giving me flexibility later to take either position. After executing yet another trade of the 56th pick, to be detailed later, the next pick for me is the 60th pick, and I'm excited to take LB Ajaron Cooper from Texas A&M. I was tempted by OT Kieran Amegadij from BYU as well as the explosive potential of WR Malachi Corley from Western Kentucky, but linebacker is too important to this defense. With the news that the Cowboys will be moving to a more 3-linebacker look on defense, Cooper could come in and immediately start. When the clock started on the 56th pick, I had a trade offer from the San Francisco 49ers to move back to pick 63. After some back-and-forth negotiating, I acquired another top 100 pick near the range of the 87th pick I originally sent to Buffalo. I also sent 6th and 7th round picks to sweeten the deal because I'm comfortable drafting top-heavy in a draft where the Cowboys need as many impact players as possible. It was difficult to pass on WR Malachi Corley and RB's Jalen Wright and Trey Benson, but I'm determined to fix the offensive line. My selection is T. Blake Fisher from Notre Dame. At first glance, you might ask why I would draft a right tackle when Terrence Steele has that position locked up. Fisher was initially recruited by Notre Dame as a left tackle, but an injury sidelined him long enough for another draft prospect, Joe Alt, to replace him. He still has the tools to play left tackle in the NFL, and drafting him allows Graham Barton to slide inside to be the starting center. I was hoping that USC RB Marshawn Lloyd would fall to me at 94, but my dreams were dashed when he was selected by the Houston Texans with pick 86. With no players I liked available to me in that range, I decided to accept an offer from the Carolina Panthers for the 94th pick. Cowboys' Dak Prescott sets record straight on contract desires amid shaky future. Jerry Jones and coach Mike McCarthy have a mission to be atop the football world next year. After years of constant heartbreaks, maybe it's the Dallas Cowboys' time to finally win the Super Bowl. However, they will need their signal caller back if they want to build on their success in previous years. Dak Prescott's record in the regular season and experience in the postseason make him a desirable target for most teams. Will a hefty contract bar the Cowboys quarterback from going to any other place? Contract negotiations are still ongoing between Dak Prescott and the Jerry Jones-led Cowboys. Hopefully, this gets resolved before the start of the season such that the squad does not experience any drama or the quarterback does not hold out for a few games. On the brighter side, the team's current signal caller is not asking for much. He even dispelled the notion that he wanted to be the highest-paid quarterback in the league, via Ari Merev of the 33rd team. No, I'm not trying to be the highest-paid necessarily. We'll wait until the negotiations begin and obviously want to put this team in the best situation, Dak Prescott declared. Jerry Jones and the Cowboys front office have given him a 4-year deal that sees him earn $40 million per season. The upcoming season will be his last, which means that the Cowboys will have to fix his situation. Dak Prescott is also designated to give his team a $55.4 million headache against the salary cap. With all that being said, he had one of the best years of his career and that might be worth rewarding. With Mike McCarthy, he notched 4,516 yards with a 105.9 rating. Moreover, his lethality near the end zone has also gotten scarier. And you, fan, what do you think of the situation of Dak Prescott? Leave your opinion in the comments.